Let's go to Nate in the truck who joins us right now. Nate, good morning. What up?
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? You're doing great, Fitzy. Wiggy, you're awesome. Courtney, good morning. You did awesome yesterday, too.
Thank you.
My point is there's two ways to look about it. If those dominoes fall with Brady and Rodgers, is that, one, it's either get Lamar Jackson. The free agent class is not the greatest this year. Or, two, I hate to say it, next year is the tankathon because next year's draft or next year's free agency is way better in receivers and everything else compared to this year. Because if you don't do that, I hate to say it, Fitzy, you can probably agree with me with this, is that they're going to be in NFL purgatory for the next few years if they don't do this, because the AFC East is going to be dominant by everyone else. And the tides have turned and flipped compared to all these past 20 years with Brady and how we were dominant compared to what's going to look like in the near future.
Yep, the bottom will rise to the top. The meek shall inherit the earth. It
Nate
could be
is
absolutely
wicked smart.
You just said the exact thing that Nate said on air, off air before we came back. Wiggy
Nate,
just said the exact same thing.
Literally, Nate just echoed what Wiggy said during the
Love
break.
it.
Like, either go get Lamar to keep up with the insane arms race that could be taking place in the AFC East. Otherwise, be content to lay back for a couple of years, rebuild, restock, and get ready for a run mid to late 2020s. Here's the thing. That's not what the Patriots do. I don't think Robert, Jonathan, and Josh, any of the Crafts would ever possibly allow the Patriots to regress and tell these fans, like, yeah, we just put up the new lighthouse. We got the huge new sports lounge. We got the world's biggest individual flat screen TV. We're the New England Patriots. Look at the banners. Oh, by the way, we're going to kind of coast at 4-13 or 5-12 so we can stockpile cash and assets for the next couple of years and let the Jets, the Bills, and the Dolphins duke it out. No way, no how, no sir.
Hell no.
They'll never tank, Wiggy.
Here's
They'll
what
never
I'll
tank.
say. No. Here's what I'll say. And Nate was spot on. You go all in. All in on Lamar. Everything you got, you throw at him is what you try to do. Because even if the Patriots, even if the Dolphins, and I know you had this, don't get Brady, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers is still going to the Jets.
Yep.
Right? Even if they don't get Brady, who's to say that Lamar Jackson doesn't land there, right? So you keep saying the arms race in the AFC East. I completely agree with you. But just the arms race in the AFC, in the AFC conference in general, with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow next year with their contracts, you go all in on Lamar Jackson. If you don't get him, I'm talking you find the highest building you can and you jump off without a parachute, because you need to go tank all the way, and you go number one next year and you get Caleb Williams.
Tanking, though, when Bill maybe
Well,
only
Bill
has
ain't
3
got no
seasons
choice.
left.
He's going to have to suck it up
Bill
for one.
Belichick is going to tank
Yeah, that
when
would
he
be-
needs
He's
like
gonna
what,
have to.
19 wins to pass Don Shula for the most wins all time?
For 1 year.
21, I believe.
One year you tank and you get Caleb Williams, right? And now you get that elite level quarterback, and if you have a Bill Belichick, maybe you're able to have that success with a quarterback of his talent the following year, and you're still able to win. We've seen rookies do it where you're able to win 12 games with a rookie quarterback because the guy is so talented.
2 quick points, and then we'll get to you, Shime, where you believe could be the perfect landing spots and destinations for him. I'm with Andy Hart on the Six Rings and Football Things podcast. We've sort of sussed this out. And the idea generally these days in the NFL is that you either need a top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
With all due respect to Mac Jones, if he balls out times infinity this season, he'll still never be a top 5 quarterback. Or you need a top 5 roster. And in the NFC Championship, you had Brock Purdy before he hurt his UCL on a top 5 roster against a top 5 roster and a top 5 quarterback with the Eagles. That's a top 5 quarterback with the Chiefs, not exactly a top 5 roster.
But see, the top 5.
This is what wins these days.
Right,
top 5 QB or top 5 roster.
But
the
listen,
Patriots have to go the top 5 roster route.
But
they're not getting a top 5
A top
QB.
5 roster. See, this is what people don't know the world of sports, right? People go top 5 roster. Okay, so start throwing me some names on that San Francisco 49ers roster. I'll start with one, Nick Bosa. Where'd Nick Bosa go in the draft?
Like 3.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll throw another name on that list, Christian McCaffrey. Where'd he go?
Top 10.
Yep.
In order to have a top 5 roster, guess what? You still gonna have to tank,
And
or
on
you
top
gonna
of
be
that-
have,
or
you're
you
gonna have to
gotta-
spend money to go get those guys.
Or you're going to have to be extremely successful in the middle rounds on guys like Fred Warner, third
and
round pick.
George Kittle.
Halifana
the safety whose name is impossible to pronounce, but easily is one of the top.
Talanoa Hufanga.
And you have to and you have to get lucky that the Patriots fall asleep at the wheel, decide to take N'Keal Harry, and Deebo Samuel just manna from heaven lands in your lap, and then you spend money on the best left tackle in football in Trent Williams, who's half the reason why the Kyle Shanahan zone rush attack works out there.
Well, and listen, the Patriots tried with N'Keal Harry. Because no one knew.
It's $1 in the jar.
No one knew. No, and I understand. Listen, I give them credit for at least trying because no one knew that Deebo Samuel or DK Metcalf
or A.J. Brown
or Terry
McLaurin
were going to be better. But they weren't. But you didn't know that. Did you know that when they were coming out of college?
I mean, you knew DK Metcalf was a better athlete than
you knew he was a good athlete.
He had an 8-pack.
Yeah, but he didn't play at Ole Miss. But he didn't play at Ole Miss.
Yes, he
Pete Carroll went shirtless.
Him and A.J. Brown both had like 800 yards.
No, but he didn't play at Ole Miss because of the neck injury. He played, but he wasn't like A.J. Brown was the better receiver coming out of Ole Miss. The only point that I'm trying to say is they missed on N'Keal Harry in the sense that he didn't pan out, but at least I give them credit for going after that guy because no one knew that Deebo Samuel was going to be the best wide receiver. I think wasn't the best wide receiver of that draft, wasn't it Hollywood Brown?
Wasn't that
he
was the first receiver?
He was the first receiver
but
off
that's
the
my
board.
point. So
he's fine. He's better than N'Keal Harry.
But he was the first receiver taken off the board. The only point that I'm saying, Fitzy,
Yeah.
is they tried. They just they ended up with the wrong guy because
so you have to. No, I understand. You have to try again. But
they could have went and got DK Metcalf, and then N'Keal Harry goes out to Seattle and balls, and we're like, why the hell didn't they go after N'Keal Harry?
All right, we're on our way to Shime. Courtney, I just want to add. This was point 2. Okay. So Wiggy gets his wish, Lamar Jackson to the Patriots. They go against the wishes of the NFL.
Yep.
I'm sure Robert Kraft has talked to many other owners behind closed doors that in conversations that didn't happen. We can't do these fully guaranteed contracts. Jimmy Haslam screwed everything up last year when he gave $230 million guaranteed to that creep in Cleveland.
Yep.
Let's say they go rogue and they do that. How much better are the New England Patriots in 2023 with Lamar Jackson as opposed to Mac?
A playoff team immediately. And then I think they make a deep postseason run.
They're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah. Like Lamar Jackson changes the game completely. I don't understand how anybody can look at that. And then you got people I know people are going to start calling in or tweeting or texting, whatever, saying, well, he's hurt all the time. He's hurt all the time. I don't know why we aren't talking more about the fact that Baltimore's grades during that NFLPA report card, their training staff
Awful.
got an F-, I think. And then you have players tweeting out saying, I was never hurt until I started playing in Baltimore, and then I was hurt all the time. I tore my ACL, and then they had me doing single-leg workouts, and I never fully recovered from something like that. That could be a sole reason why Lamar Jackson has faced injury after injury.
And it's only been the last 2 years.
Yes, take him out and see what he can do.
During his MVP season, put his body out there on the line all the time. Seemed to be pretty damn healthy as well. And by the way, text line 37937, a Ravens fan checking in a few minutes ago. We're good with Lamar. We don't want him anymore. Okay, by the
they have Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley.
Snoop
How did that look?
Yeah.
Pro Bowl quarterback Snoop Huntley. Shime, before we trend in just 2 minutes' time, I need Shime's top 3 landing spots, the perfect destinations for Lamar Jackson 2020.
Okay, number 3 would be a spite play by Dan Snyder and the Washington Commanders. Dan Snyder on his way out, so what does he do? Stick all the other NFL owners with yet another Supermax contract with double birds to the sky being like, look it, now you have to deal with this the rest of your time. See you guys later.
And screws Baltimore, his neighbors to the north.
Bingo. So that would be number 3. Number 2, I think, is the Atlanta Falcons. He is just an exponentially better version of Marcus Mariota, which is what they were going for last year. Arthur Smith is a very good offensive play caller. He would love to have a guy like Lamar Jackson. They would win that division with Lamar Jackson going away, not even a problem. And they would probably be, at least right now, the third best team in the NFC.
Third or fourth for sure. They're a perennial
They have the second best quarterback
team
in the NFC.
Yep.
Now, the team that I love the most, and that would be the number 1, as much as I want to say the Patriots, the best fit for Lamar Jackson is the Detroit Lions.
Really?
The Detroit Lions have 2 picks in the first round this year. The number 6 pick, by the way, not theirs. So they don't have to give that up to get Lamar. You give Lamar a Supermax contract. You give, and then you trade your first round pick, which is 18, and next year's first round pick for him. And then you get Lamar Jackson on a stacked Lions roster with a great offensive playing caller in Ben Johnson. If you cut Jared Goff, you save $20 million. He's only $10 million dead cap on your cap. So you save almost $21 million, which then gives you $45 million in cap space right now. As we know, cap space can be manipulated as much as you want, so you have plenty to sign Lamar Jackson to that Supermax contract. He's throwing Amon-Ra St. Brown. You still have the number 6 overall pick.
You got Jameson Williams.
You have Jameson Williams. You have Aiden Hutchinson on that cheap contract. You have Penei Sewell still on a cheap rookie contract. You have Frank Ragnow. You have just an awesome football
Why
team
them
with
over
Lamar
Miami?
Jackson at the center.
Oh my gosh,
I just think that they have overall a better roster. And again, if Lamar Jackson goes to the NFC, he's already the second best quarterback in the conference behind Jalen Hurts.
And let me tell you, Shime, just to sort of like grand scheme it, if Lamar Jackson were to, I hadn't even thought about Detroit for a second, but everything you just said makes so much sense. And Miami does 2 weeks. But can you imagine Detroit, the butt of all sports jokes in North America this entire century for decades? The Lions, the epitome of suffering, futility, idiocy, and failure in the NFL. If they bring him in, championed as the savior of Detroit, with a coach, the harder guy, get in there, kneecaps, bite your broke cheek. Get him and Lamar Jackson. You want to talk about the grit and balls and the spit and the grind from that team with that roster, which is sneaky stacked.
And then you could trade if
he
you
would
wanted
be a hero
to. You could either
legend.
take pick 6, or you could trade out of pick 6, get into the teens, and recoup that first round pick for next year that you just gave up for Lamar Jackson. And then you are in fantastic shape across the board.
Wow. 617-779-7937. There's your telephone number if you want to weigh in on the LaMarvelous talk. Everything else that we've brought around here. Wiggy wants him on the Patriots. I just can't see them doing that. Then Wiggy thinks they're going to tank. I just can't see them doing that. But hey, that's why we live for the discussion.
Well,
and the debate,
I mean,
right?
I don't know how much you like. I know Fitzy, you're a diehard Pats fan.
Yes,
well,
sir.
You and I will both be in NFL purgatory for a long time.
It'll be Groundhog's Day.
Walking. What do they say? We'll be walking the just
be on the treadmill.
No. Where is it when you walk in a big area? What's that called? Like if you're walking on a walkabout?
A mall?
Oh, a walkabout.
A trek? A walkabout?
Yeah,
Walkabout.
I trek through purgatory
Yes.
in all darkness
Well,
because that's what we'll be doing.
As long as the tap lines are clean, I have no complaints.
That's where our souls will be, not heaven or hell. They'll be in purgatory.